What is up, everybody? We are doing UFC Vegas 36, Brunson versus Till. These are the full card predictions and betting tips. Looking forward to this card. Sweet main event. Pretty good co-main event with some heavyweight prospects on the line. Spivak versus Aspinall. Paddy Pimblett making his debut in the UFC. Definitely a card you're going to want to tune into. I'm super excited to break it down. Guys, smash the like button. Let's get at least 200 likes on this UFC full card prediction. Much love to everybody watching, whether live or on replay. I want to get into this thing. Subscribe if you guys are new here too. And let's work our way to the first fight of the night. Striking matchup for sure on one side. Jonathan Martinez versus Marcelo Rojo. Rojo in his last fight, he's coming off a loss against, the name escaping me, Charles Jourdain, who's actually fighting on this card as well. Jonathan Martinez lost to Davy Grant. Brutal knockout in that last one. Granted, he's still a pretty young fighter at just 27. Martinez, southpaw, Thai style of striking, decent teep kicks, manages range well, and does have pretty decent footwork. Rojo on the other side, pretty forward pressure style of striking, boxing heavy attack, decent hands in close. Wrestling game is not bad either. Not many differences as far as, the physical attributes. You have 5'8", 5'8", slight reach advantage for Rojo. His previous fight, though, was up a weight class at featherweight, now dropping down to bantamweight. I feel like that could potentially slow him, especially at 33 years of age. I think Jonathan Martinez works towards a win here. I'm thinking potentially KO, TKO, second or third round. You look, there has been knockouts for Martinez in the past. I do think he has the ability to put the lights out on Marcelo Rojo. I'll say second round knockout, Jonathan Martinez in this matchup. He's a favorite, minus 158 to plus 148. Not a ton of props out yet, but Martinez inside the distance, plus 225. That's a pretty decent play. Martinez, he wins this fight. Strong favorite, minus 158. I definitely see him getting him done against Rojo in this matchup. Next fight, Dalcha Lambegula versus Marc-André Barriault. Middleweight fight. You look at Lambegula, very undersized height-wise for this weight class, but he is a tank. The man is absolutely jacked. On the other side, Marc-André Barriault, he is a pretty swell fighter overall. Well-rounded, good kickboxing in close. He has pretty good clinch work, decent takedowns. Beat up Azaitar in the last matchup, and he was a pretty solid prospect, and you can't sleep on Barriault. Had a bad little run with 3 straight losses, has turned it around since then with a draw and a win in his last one. Lambegula coming off a win that was against Marcus Perez, who's now no longer in the UFC. Power puncher, very forward pressure, heavy attack, decent wrestling game, good judo style game, and like the physical strength of Lambegula is a real factor in this one. But Barriault is just the superior technician here. He's the better overall martial artist. He's a lot longer, though has a disadvantage of the reach. I do have to probably attribute some of that to just being a less broad human being. I think Marc-André Barriault wins this bout. I think unanimous decision. I think he's going to put it on Dalcha Lambegula. I think he'll get his second win in the UFC. Could also see TKO, potentially Barriault getting a tired Lambegula. He's got a lot of muscle. There's definitely potential for him gassing out in a really high-paced fight with Barriault. Barriault wins decision, but potentially could see a late KO, TKO here, thinking third round if that was to happen. Minus 150 favorite for Barriault, plus 138 dog Lambegula. Those are best values. Barriault prop for a decision, plus 285. That's up at. Interesting. The TKO, plus 225. I'm thinking potential parlay addition. Right now, there's over 2.5. I was liking more so that over 1.5. I'll be waiting potentially on that to drop if I'm touching a prop here, but I like Barriault wins in this matchup, and I think decision or late KO, TKO, but a little more so on the decision side. Next fight of the night. If you guys haven't yet, smash the like button. Catch weight, 150, you have Charles Air Jourdain versus Juicy J Julian Erosa. When I first looked at this matchup, I thought, man, I think there's a shot for Erosa to win. But then you go back, you watch recent performances. Yes, winning some, not fluky, but sporadic result, quick knockout of Erosa. And then in his last one, of Landwehr by Erosa. Then in his last one, he gets knocked out bad. The opponent's name being Sungwoo Choi. He was knocked out quick in that one with a counter hook. You look at Erosa's game, rangy striker who's willing to trade. We have seen him knocked out in the past, even in the Ultimate Fighter House against Artem Lobov. Pretty good hands, and I would say sometimes a bit over-aggressive, which can lead him to success or downfall. On the other side, you have Jourdain, who's a southpaw, that is willing to trade and brawl as well. Solid hooks, good power from the close range. He's the shorter guy. I feel like Erosa will find himself inside with Charles Jourdain. I think the explosiveness is a factor for Jourdain here. Not an easy fight by any means. I think that it's more competitive than the odds do have it, but I feel Charles Jourdain is going to win by a second round knockout. Charles Jourdain for the win, second round KO. Jourdain minus 172. Let's go Jourdain KO TKO. Let's find out the value of that one. Jourdain KO TKO plus 140. I think that's the method of victory. I think he gets a counter punch off on Julian Erosa, who leaves his chin up a bit high, and he gets knocked out. Charles Jourdain for the win. Let's keep on moving up this card. Jack Shore versus Liudvik Sholinian. Fun little bantamweight fight here. Liudvik stepping in on short notice. Ultimate Fighter veteran of this past season. What he showed me is excellent grappling skill set, good forward pressure wrestling, and actually decent kickboxing as well, though he was tested a bit by Mitch Raposo. He won that fight, and then losing to the eventual winner, Ricky Turcios, in the semifinal. Not a bad loss to Turcios. Stylistically was a tricky matchup. On the other side, though, Jack Shore is a tricky wrestler. Usually you don't think of the United Kingdom, like Wales, any of those areas as wrestling heavy games, but Jack Shore has very good wrestling. He's a pressure style of striker with good kickboxing skills, fast kicks from range, decent straight punches. His takedowns are really good, though. In his last fight, beat Hunter Azure on a close decision, but did deserve to win the fight. I think he beats Liudvik Sholinian on a hard-fought decision as well. Jack Shore win by a decision over Liudvik Sholinian in this matchup. He will then move to 15-0. I don't think Liudvik goes out easy, but I do think Jack Shore wins the bout. Good to see another Ultimate Fighter vet from this past season get a shot inside of the UFC. All right, let's see if the odds are there. Liudvik Sholinian. That's so funny, man. They messed up his name. Jack Shore is a huge favorite, minus 400. Wow, the odds are wide now for Jack Shore. Liudvik Sholinian, though, plus 389. I don't think he deserves to be this big of an underdog. Over 2.5, minus 115. I think fight goes the distance. That's plus money. Interesting. I don't see Liudvik as an easy guy to finish. I feel like he'll be able to fend off submission attempts. If anything, maybe he gets controlled a bit, but he'll be fighting to get back up. Shore wins by a decision, plus 190. Sholinian by a decision, plus 575. Might be worth a little sprinkle just on that, because the odds definitely sleeping on Liudvik by a long shot, though I have Jack Shore winning the bout by a decision. Next fight, Yeon Kim versus Molly McCann. Some women's flyweight action. You have a pretty decent meatball with Molly McCann. I mean, she's pretty aggressive with her striking, mixes it up with the hands in close, a little bit wild, but decent hook combinations. On the other side, you have more of a slick style striker, patient, relaxed technician, Yeon Kim, who also has a big reach advantage, 10 inches, 3 inches taller, fights well from that longer range, which she's really going to have here. She's got to control distance. I believe she will. I think Yeon Kim will win this bout. Could she get the TKO? You see, she does have, a TKO inside of the UFC in the past, but mostly fights going the distance. Her opponent, not an easy girl to put away. I think Yeon Kim beats Molly McCann by a decision. The odds are very close on this one, but I feel like Yeon Kim deserves to be the favorite here. Minus 110 to minus 110. Best value, plus 100. You can find McCann at over at Unibet. Over 2.5, minus 400. Yeah, they're expecting it to go the distance, but I think Yeon Kim win by a decision, plus 160. I think that's a lock here, guys. I think it's highly likely, but it's women's MMA. So ignore that word lock. It's women's fighting, so it's the likelihood is less so. But I do see Kim with clear advantages, and I think she wins the fight here against Molly McCann. Flyweight women's bout, might be safe not to touch it, but value is not bad. Let's jump to the main card. If you haven't yet, smash the likes. We need 200 likes. Subscribe if you guys are new. Keeping it with all the predictions. Also got best bets coming out this week for the UFC. So lots of MMA content to talk about this week. Keep it locked in here at MMA Experts. Smash that like button. Subscribe. Let's talk about the main card, though. It's Luigi Vendramini versus Paddy Pimblett to start it off. This is a fight that I'm really pumped for because Paddy Pimblett is a popular fighter throughout the United Kingdom. He has a Conor McGregor-esh to him. I guess that's what people would compare him to, though. Different fighters, different styles. Pimblett definitely more slick on the ground, but does have some pretty good striking. Good kickboxer on the ground. Very dangerous when he gets your back. He can lock you up beautifully. Quick wins in his last two. They're over the course of a year or 2 years. So it was one fight and then one fight. Not extremely active these past couple years. He did lose to Soren Bach back in 2018. Tricky grappler. Paddy Pimblett now takes on Luigi Vendramini. Vendramini's a tricky striker, man. Solid striking style of boxing, I would say more so than anything else. Mixes it up well. Inside, decent hooks, decent jab. The overhand, though, is the money punch, in my opinion. I think that it is going to be a pretty solid fight on both sides. I think it's competitive action, but Paddy Pimblett leads the dance by a bit, probably gets better positioning on the ground, might get off a bit better strikes, though I think he could get caught. Unanimous decision win for Paddy Pimblett in this matchup over Luigi, the Italian Stallion Vendramini. It's hard to go against the Italian Stallion himself, and I won't be surprised if the Italian Stallion has an upset win because I thought he should have beat Ziam in the last fight. Pimblett minus 135, Vendramini plus 125. Let's see what we can do here betting-wise. Paddy Pimblett plus 360 for a win by decision. Win inside the distance, plus 175. Interesting. They're sleeping on Vendramini. Vendramini win by a KO TKO, plus 375. Vendramini decision, plus 325. I think Vendramini could somehow edge out a decision, but unlikely. I think Paddy Pimblett wins, but the Italian Stallion, you cannot count him out with that type of nickname. You just can't, and the fighting style definitely reminisces that as well. Aggressive striker. Next fight. Khalil Rountree in a must-win situation versus Modestas Bukauskas. Bukauskas is a more technical striker from range, taller guy, but Khalil Rountree has definitely developed crispy Muay Thai. I mean, he has a southpaw stance, rips low kicks, definitely heavy-handed as well, athletic. Weakness has been the ground. I feel like Modestas Bukauskas is going to know. Khalil on the ground tends to run into a bit of trouble, especially a lanky guy like Modestas Bukauskas gets to Khalil's back. I think this could be serious trouble. I think Bukauskas surprises us with a grappling game. I think second round submission, Modestas Bukauskas over Khalil Rountree. I think he'll want to avoid the power and he'll get this fight to the floor. If he doesn't, he could be in real trouble here. Odds, minus 150 Bukauskas, Khalil plus 138. Bukauskas wins by a submission, plus 900. I think Bukauskas will win this fight, and I do think it will be by submission. Modestas Bukauskas for the victory in this fight. I think he gets it done, and it's one that we all should be pretty pumped for. I think we're going to get a pretty action-packed bout here. But yeah, we got to ride with Modestas Bukauskas submission. Good prop bet as well because the odds are not expecting it. But I think Modestas will surprise him with more of a grappling style attack. Featured bout of the night, David Zawada versus Alex Morono. I like this matchup. I think that we have a fun little fight here. Morono, little bit of a roll going. I mean, he won his last fight against Cowboy by KO. Before that, fought decent against Anthony Pettis, but that's before Pettis caught some L's over at PFL. Morono, Thai-style striker, pretty fast starter, really forward pressure for sure, good boxing. Not typical boxing, but MMA boxing, quick hands and some nasty combinations. He'll like explode into range with looping shots. Zawada, decent technical kickboxer, pretty good low kicks, and he does have a pretty nice like low kick hook combination, which he likes to throw. Also watch out for his straight punches. Zawada in this matchup, though, he's fighting Morono, who's definitely on a bit of a roll. The momentum is pushing behind him, but Zawada can't really be completely slept on here. These guys are the exact same age. He had a good career over in KSW. Morono's had some decent results. Will Morono get to Zawada? You look, Zawada, pretty durable guy. I mean, he does have that loss to Leach by KO, but body shot. And Amiv by a split decision. I feel like this is upset territory. I think Zawada wins this bout by a decision over Alex Morono, plus 140 for that, minus 138 from Morono. I would just bet Zawada straight if I'm looking for a potential dog. I do think decision win, plus 345. Morono, though, would have a shot for a KO. You could hedge it, plus 435. But yeah, we're going with Zawada. Upset, win by a decision over Alex Morono, and what should be a pretty damn good featured bout of the night. A lot of these fights on this card are very good, and I'm expecting action-packed from the start of this main card. It's straight bangers. Like, underrated card, a card you don't want to miss. Make sure to tune into this one. Now, let's talk co-main event. Tom Aspinall versus Sergey the Polar Bear Spivak. You know, this is such an interesting matchup because Aspinall's on the rise, dangerous boxing, has shown a capable ground game as well, does have a competitive grappling background. Spivak, though, very tricky with his clinch game, good Muay Thai skill set. When he gets you down, he puts you in serious trouble. But Tom Aspinall has a serious striking advantage. He's a lot more explosive. He's more powerful. He's the taller guy. That's an advantage in the clinch for Aspinall. Spivak tends to be taller than, at least the past couple opponents, and he's able to go out there and put on pretty decent performances and win, but he's not going to have this with Aspinall. Aspinall's too big of a favorite, really, for what he's shown, but he has dynamite. And I think that dynamite goes to work. I think he uses his hands, gets inside, cracks Spivak with a big shot that hurts him, and then he follows up KO TKO first round for Tom Aspinall. I think he's going to sleep Sergey Spivak. Sergey's tricky. He's not an easy guy to deal with. His clinch game is good. His grappling is good. His Muay Thai is honestly pretty good as well. But he's not going to beat Tom Aspinall. He's going to get knocked out in the first round. Aspinall, minus 244. Spivak, plus 225. Let's see, Aspinall by KO TKO is plus 120. It's expected to happen here. Spivak win, maybe by a decision if Spivak were to win, because I think it'd be hard to submit Tom Aspinall. I mean, you look at his only submission loss. It was a kind of odd heel hook. Plus 465 Spivak for a win by decision. But I think Aspinall sleeps him in a round here. I think under 1.5, minus 129 is very likely. Tom Aspinall, KO TKO, round one. Let's jump to it. It is the main event. Smash the like button if you guys haven't yet. Much love to everybody tuning into the show, whether live or in replay. I do appreciate everybody. Guys, smash the likes. We need 200 likes on this thing. Subscribe if you're new here too. And let's get into this fight. Derek Brunson versus Darren the Gorilla Till. I am feeling pumped because this is really top contender fight. Yes, Jared Cannonier made a claim for himself with a win. I don't feel like he would be able to triumph wouldn't be able to pass over, like a Darren Till or Brunson. I feel like more likely the UFC would go towards them because I don't know. I just feel like Cannonier recent loss to Whitaker, but that's besides the point. Let's talk about this matchup. Darren Till and Derek Brunson. Brunson is a beast of a wrestler, and he's shown insane physical strength with an improved striking game. He's a lot more patient than he was in the past. Also, southpaw. This is actually a southpaw versus southpaw fight, which is going to be good to see. Brunson's more of an explosive knockout striker, not as technically precise, but definitely has improved. He keeps his high guard up now. Has shown defensive improvements tenfold, not being as over aggressive now on this nice little win streak. Till on the other side is a precise kickboxer, extremely fast straight left and dangerous head kicks from that mid to long range. Inside the clinch, he fights well, though Brunson has a serious wrestling advantage here. I think he'll be the stronger guy by a good amount. He's the naturally bigger guy. Brunson's been fighting up at 185 for a long time. Till now moving up, especially he was fighting at 170, doing well, but got controlled there by T. Wood. Granted, very different matchup, sure. Brunson, powerful wrestler with KO power in the hands. I think Derek Brunson is going to be able to win this fight. I do think we might be looking at 5 rounds, though. I'll take Brunson on a decision. I think he's going to be able to control Darren Till in the clinch and work towards a very smart game plan and get himself a decision victory. I feel like he learned a lot about his stamina, his gas tank against Kevin Holland. And I feel like, honestly, stylistic matchup-wise, Holland was maybe harder than Darren Till because of his length. Brunson's going to be able to get Darren Till to the floor here. He's going to win. Derek Brunson wins by a decision over Darren Till and potentially earns himself a world title shot. He's an underdog, plus 158. Maybe him and Adesanya end up running it back if he wins this fight. Brunson wins by a decision, plus 325. Brunson KO TKO, plus 500. It's not an easy fight. There's definitely going to be chances for Darren Till, and there's a possibility Till would get a KO. So honestly, I need to look at what value that would be sitting at. Till KO TKO plus 150. Not too extreme there. I think they're expecting him to sleep Brunson, but I think they're not giving enough credit to Brunson's newfound patience here. So Derek Brunson wins by a decision over Darren Till. Overall, I'd say this is a solid card. B rating, the main card. Honestly, for free TV, it's got to be an A-. It's good stuff. I want to give you guys parlays, though. We got to talk some potential parlays to play. Let me bring up best fight odds so we can get these parlays out here. All right. Parlay. I do feel like certain matchup I'm feeling the confidence in. I like Aspinall, but I got to be careful. I don't want to touch the women's fight. I think Barriault wins, plus 122. Could see Jonathan Martinez for plus 262 there. Or, Jourdain's gone way too wide, plus 225. Shore, plus 166. I think he wins the fight. Some decent little 3-fight parlays you can make. Aspinall, definitely confidence play, though it's heavyweight. Barriault, I really see him with a clear path to victory. He's a lot better than Dalcha Lamagula. I don't want to play Zawada as a dog. I'd have more faith doing it for Brunson, plus 472. Or if you can get maybe an over here, over 3.5 rounds, plus 339. Potential, but might not touch it myself. I want to give you guys a little more of a wild one, though. We'll go Marc-André, Tom Aspinall, Jonathan Martinez, Jack Shore, and I think we'll also bring in Brunson at the top, plus 1,000 if we're going a little nuts here. Granted, I'm not loving the odds for that Jack Shore fight. Overall, though, I think we got some fun parlays. We'll go a lot deeper with the betting side of things for this week's best MMA bets, but that is the full card predictions for UFC Vegas 36. Hope you guys enjoyed, because as always, I really enjoyed breaking it down. Smash the like button, guys. We need at least 150. No, excuse me. What did I say? 150. 200. We're not shooting low. 200 likes is needed, guys. Smash the likes. Subscribe if you're new here. Much love to everybody who tuned in to the live show. I hope you guys enjoyed. That's pretty much it for me, guys. Got to get up in the morning, so gonna get myself some sleep. Much love. Thank everybody for being here. Got more content coming all week. Definitely will have some type of live stream tomorrow, and potentially talk a little pre-fight contender series before it all goes down. I know it'd be late, but we're still making it happen. Much love, guys. Have a great night. See you guys in the next one. Smash that like button, guys. Subscribe too. Peace.